Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Grace Period Podcast, sponsored by the one and only Christ Lutheran Church here in Visalia, California. Grace Period Podcast, where we gather for honest conversations about faith, everyday life, and the grace that carries us through it all. Amen to that. Think of this podcast like friends sitting down over a cup of coffee, sharing stories, laughing at ourselves, and most importantly, leaning into God's grace together. Expect honesty, humor, and a space to ask hard questions. No sermons here, just conversation. Grace Period, making room for grace in real life. Once again, sponsored and brought to you by Christ Lutheran Church here in the Central Valley of Visalia, California. My name is Noel Thompson, and today I have Evan Judson. Evan, how are you?
Doing good.
Now, I just want to state for the record that you are here as a volunteer. You're not here against your will, correct?
Right.
Yeah. I want the world to know that, because now you might be surprised, people. I know we just recorded a podcast yesterday and you're like, what? A second one? Well, guess what? Evan's going back to school like right after church on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And the story of this episode is I was just at a soccer game with you, cheering on Levi.
Yep.
Go Redwood.
Go Redwood.
And I talked to you about our podcast,
Yeah.
which you kind of didn't know much about it at that time.
No, I didn't. I think I saw one story about it, but I didn't really look into it. So.
Okay. And then you immediately became like my best salesman, because you were immediately telling people around us to download the podcast.
Well, mainly my dad was. But.
Yeah. And then I said, hey, Evan, you should be on the podcast. And immediately you're like, no. But then I kind of, throughout the game, I was like, Evan, you should come on. And then, you know what? Shout out to Greta, because I feel like Greta kind of pushed you over to the good side here, because Greta is Evan's girlfriend. Shout out Greta, who's probably listening in Minnesota, North Dakota area. And Greta was like, you should do it. And so now you are here.
I am.
And you're not here against his will, podcast people. So it was interesting. As soon as you came into the studio, I felt like it became more real.
Sure.
Did you originally think we'd be doing this like in my office, just like?
Well, I just didn't expect this whole setup. You've got
a nice setup.
3 nice microphones.
That's right. We got some couches in here, not new couches, but definitely 2 couches and a chair. I'm sunk in like 5 feet into the couch I'm on. It takes me like 10 seconds to.
That's pretty nice. You should switch this with that.
Yeah, I don't know. That one looks a little too hard. I don't know. Pros and cons here, people. But yeah, we do. We have like 2 episodes in a row. I don't know. I think it's great. Anytime we get to record, have time to have a conversation. Evan has some. I'm looking forward to this episode, Evan, just because of what you're doing in school and in life, and I think it's something we have yet to talk about here on the Grace Period Podcast. So, really, the theme today will be a little bit more about music and the power of music and how God has used music in our life and moving forward. So, but before we do that, we do have some memorable moments here on January 9th. We are recording this. Is it Friday? It's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it's a beautiful day out there.
It is, yeah.
This
Clear
morning,
skies,
this morning I took my son fishing at Lake Kauai.
Oh, how was it?
Dude, we just sat there. Like, we almost didn't fish for 20 minutes because we were on a boat. Shout out to the Kauai Marina. We were on a boat and we're just looking on the clear sky. The water was calm. It was, the snow had mountains. Oh my gosh. The mountains had snow and the hills were green, and it was the most like just picturesque time. But it's a beautiful day out there.
Yeah.
Hope people are enjoying it.
Adam and I went up there on, I think, Wednesday.
Okay.
And we were coming down during sunset, and I just looked back as we were going past the Kauai lake, and I've never seen or like noticed purple mountains before.
Ooh.
And so
the color off the sunset was
so beautiful.
I'm telling you, people, I mean, I could talk about creation like all day long.
Yeah.
But this morning I definitely felt God's presence, because I was just sitting there on the water with my son. We didn't catch any fish, and that's totally fine. I was telling my son this morning, I was like, look, fishing is more about the experience.
Yeah.
You got to have patience. It builds up character a little bit. But I think so many things in life is about the experience. Mm-hmm. It's about the company you're with, the people you surround yourself with, the atmosphere, or wherever you're at. I mean, you got to take it all in. I kind of wonder, this is a tangent that I wasn't planning on talking about, but I wonder how much do we miss out when we don't take advantage of the experience around us?
Yeah.
You ever feel that way?
I do feel that way. And I feel like a lot of the times we're just kind of cruising through life and not necessarily noticing all the small little things that like make it worth it.
Absolutely. Because on paper, I was just on a lake surrounded by some hills and mountains in the distance. But
and
really,
you didn't catch any fish. So was it worth it?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't accomplish what we set out to do, but I think we got more out of it just by taking it all in. So there you go, people. Take it all in. That's a lesson. But on this day, January 9th, 1493, Evan, I like this one.
Yeah, dude.
Christopher Columbus mistakes manatees for mermaids. Here's my question, I'll be shocked if you know the answer. I don't know the answer, but it's like, so are you telling me like he documented? Did he have a journal that on this day, on 1493, Christopher Columbus mistook manatees for like? How do we know that?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
it's on the website.
Had a journal, but how do we know it was like manatees?
Yeah, this is one of those stats where I'm not going to sit here and say it's not true, but it's just funny to me how we know exactly on January 9th, the year of our Lord, 1493, Christopher Columbus made that mistake. And then on this day in 2007, Evan, what happened? Tell the people.
The Apple company introduced the iPhone.
Are you an iPhone user?
I am, yeah.
I am an iPhone. I wasn't. I originally was not an iPhone user, but I am now. But on this day, 2007, let me do the math. That's 19 years ago. For a second, Evan, I had to remind myself that we're in 2026.
Yep.
19 years ago, Apple introduces the very, very first iPhone. And to be honest, like that changed the world.
Yeah.
It changed the world. It's now insane what we can do on our phones.
I saw a lot of people are like starting to go back to flip phones.
You know what? I when I was at Verizon the other day, I saw a couple of flip phones.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that was tempted.
I'm kind of tempted.
Are you tempted?
I am tempted. I spend a lot of time on my phone in some unhealthy ways. Like I just watch YouTube all the time.
So, here we go. Let's raise the level let's raise the level here. What would it take, Evan, for you to go to a flip phone? What do I have to do to get you into a flip phone today?
I don't know.
Or in a week.
I don't know. It's just it can be like useful having a phone like that, but I just what can I still use on a flip phone that I can use on that?
I'm assuming you might still be able to text. It'll be a different experience.
I was expecting that.
But texting and calling, it'll literally you'll literally just have a phone.
I don't know what that means though, because you've only had
a smartphone.
Yeah.
I had a friend in high school who, as phones are kind of getting a little bit more advanced in the technology, he still rocked like the flip phone.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you got a lot of attention. I don't know. I think you should do it.
I had my mom put in like the screen time password, so I don't know it. And I put limits on YouTube and Instagram, so I'm not
like minutes per day.
Yeah.
Can I ask what's your limit per day?
For Instagram, it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes a day.
Yeah. And then YouTube, and I combine Netflix in that same category, is an hour and a half a day.
Okay. Now, confession time. Do you hit those limits every day?
I do. Yeah, I do. But especially being home, like that's what I do.
That's different.
Like on break.
Yeah.
And for me personally, like it's hard to go back to school when I've like been on my phone a lot. Right. So I'm
transition stuff.
Yeah, I'm just trying to preemptively get myself ready to go back to school.
That's so wise of you, Evan. Evan, that's
thanks.
You've always been wise, ahead of your time. I have I love Apple and its parental stuff. They're like when my wife and I were starting to get looking for phones for my daughter. There were a lot of options out there. And then I started looking into Apple and the parental settings, and it's amazing. So kind of like you, I can set every app to a limit. Like as a joke one time, I did. She's really into Pinterest. I did like 2 minutes.
Oh,
as a joke. And she was like, "What?" But so here's a question: What's the earliest you've hit the limit? Like 9 a.m. Have you hit the Instagram
I've
limit?
hit the limit today already.
Already?
Yeah.
And we're recording this at like 2:15
Yep.
in the afternoon.
Yeah. The rest of the day, I'm going to be reading my book and
Okay.
spend time with family. So
That's good. Yeah. Wow. Look at you. Setting limits. That's another good tangent. Is setting limits, boundaries. Have you learned more about yourself during this whole like limit Netflix or social media thing?
I put it on yesterday. So
this is fresh.
Yeah, this is fresh.
Hot off the press.
Yeah. So
what sparked that? Like you just
Well, I've done it in the past before, but I had always set the password myself. So then I just will be like, what's 5 more minutes?
So now mom knows it.
Yes, mom knows it.
And you don't.
I don't. So when I go off to school, it's just there.
We'll see how that goes. Evan goes back to school here in a few days. It might be a little rough for Evan. So, well, there you go. Since we are talking about music today, Evan, I wanted to give out a random and cool music stat. And here it is. The music stat of the day is your brain, our brain, can recognize a familiar song in as little as 0.1 seconds. That's faster than it takes to recognize a face.
It's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend how fast that is. But you know what? I think it's kind of true. There's some songs you hear that first little thing.
Yeah.
And we're like, boom.
Yes.
We know it. I got to say what happened the other day, Evan. I forget where I was. I was at the mall or a store somewhere, anywho. And like I could barely hear the music, but I couldn't tell which song it was.
Yeah.
It ruined the whole day for me.
Yeah.
Because I could tell a little bit, like, I knew it, but I couldn't hear everything. And the rest of the day, I was trying to like rack my brain on like what song is this? I don't know if you go through the same thing.
Oh, all the time. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So music brains are just built a little different. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, people, but we can recognize a song in as little as 0.1 seconds. That's pretty fast. And then our Psalm of the day. We're doing a Psalm of the day here. Psalm 95. Evan, do you mind reading us Psalm 95?
Yeah, sure. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is great God, the King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care.
Amen. There's so many verses out there, so much scripture about music. And I think one thing I love about music, Evan, is like, I'm a big music person. You look at my Apple library. I mean, I got just about everything. But one thing I love about music is I think I can listen to something, or there's music in my library for every mood that I am in.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like happy, I got music for that.
Yeah.
If I'm really, really sad, got music for that. If I'm having a bad day, or if I'm really angry and like I'm frustrated, I have like music for that. Do you find yourself being a music person, like kind of going like you have different musicians or artists or genres of music when you're in a certain mood? Like, do you find yourself going to certain things like that?
Interestingly, I don't. I actually have like one playlist that I really listen to.
Really?
And that's basically, otherwise I just go and I do Discover Weekly on Spotify and I just listen to new music. So then when I'm feeling sad, I'll like listen to my playlist to make me feel
so
happier.
You've created like a playlist for all moods, kind of.
Yeah, just like my go-to.
Offhand, do you know how many songs are on that playlist?
I don't. Probably it's like an hour and a half of music or something like that.
I probably create a playlist every week. I'm not even lying, people.
Sure.
I probably have 90 playlists on my library.
I can't do that. I just I have one, and that's all
it.
I need. Yeah,
That's it.
I probably haven't touched it in
Yeah.
I mean over a year or
Right.
something.
What about like worship music? Is there a particular type of worship music that you like? Do you like the old school hymns that are sung at a little bit more traditional services? Do you like the more softer kind of instrumental stuff, or do you like the more modern? Because believe it or not, people, there's literally, as far as Christian music, there's about every genre of Christian music, and I have that too. I have the rap and the hardcore metal, and the choral hymns. I mean, is there a certain type of worship music, Evan, that you kind of you listen to more than others?
Well, when I was growing up, my mom, when she drove us to school, she would always have 88.9 on.
Yep.
And so I think that's like really kind of shaped my my love for that kind of music. And so,
which is more contemporary for people who don't know. It's a little more modern, a little more contemporary. They do a pretty good job of bringing in the new stuff and adding in the old stuff. Christmas time, though, it's all Christmas music,
right?
From like September to January 1, but whatever. That's another podcast. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah. So that's basically what I like listening to, is that kind of realm of like music from, I don't know, 10 years ago or whatever.
A little bit more modern, a little more kind of guitar driven and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. Again, kind of like what I was saying earlier, as far as Christian and worship music, I kind of listen to it all. Lately, I've been digging the more choral pieces. So all your choir directors out there might be digging that. I don't know. Nothing beats a good choir. That's kind of my opinion. Sure. Like a solid choir. Especially one of my favorite hymns is How Deep the Father's Love for Us.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. So good. So good. And then for those of you that don't know this, Evan, and we'll talk about this here in a second, Evan plays the French horn. So I was like, let me find a fun fact about the French horn. Because I'll be honest, my friends, I don't know anything about it. So I was like, well, I'm going to sound smart and I'm going to Google it. The French horn has about 12 feet of tubing wrapped in its circular shape. And if you stretched it out, it would be longer than a small car. Evan, I don't believe that for a second. Is that really true?
Yeah.
There's that much tubing in a French horn.
Yes.
You know, there's only one way to find that out. So I need you to get your French horn out.
We're not.
And we're gonna bust that out. 12 feet?
Yeah.
That's a lot. And then a bonus fun bit, and this makes sense. I've always wondered about it. Horn players use their hand inside the bell to change pitch and tone, which is pretty unique among brass instruments, which is true. Not many brass instruments often, do that. And for those of you that are thinking, oh, Noel doesn't know what he's talking about, my very first instrument was a baritone. So I love band. Band was one of my highlights of junior high and high school. So Evan, real quick, as we kind of begin our conversation here, tell the people where you're at, like, what school do you go to, what major, so to kind of get an idea of our conversation today, because our conversation is going to be about music. But why are we talking about music with Evan Judson? Evan, give us a quick intro of maybe what high school you went to, what activities you did at high school, and then what college you go to, and the activities you do there in college.
So I went to Redwood High School.
Go Rangers.
Yeah, go Rangers. Even the sky is Ranger blue.
Oh, here we go. All right.
But I was in the engineering program there for all 4 years. And I also was in the chess club.
That's right.
Yep. And then my biggest activity was I was in the marching band at Redwood for all 4 years.
All 4 years.
All 4 years, yeah.
Okay. Now, was that something you kind of wanted to do when you first started marching band? Like, is that something? Because I kind of remember there was a moment in the beginning where it was kind of not rough, but just kind of, it was new.
It was rough for me.
Oh, okay. It was rough.
Yeah, because, I went to Valley Life Charter School and I graduated with 48 people.
Yeah.
And I think 4 or 5 people went with me to Redwood. So I was like feeling very alone in that sense.
You went from like a small pond to an ocean.
Yeah. Knowing nobody.
Yeah.
Especially in the band program. I didn't know a single soul.
So your love for music started at Valley Life.
Yeah.
Or at least the French horn.
Yeah, I started playing French horn in 8th grade at Valley Life.
Oh.
And then I kept with it in high school. But for marching band, we actually had a servant trip. The lights just turned off. We actually had a servant trip the first week of band camp.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't make it to that week of band camp, and I came the second week when everyone kind of knew what was going on.
Right.
And I didn't know anybody. And I remember getting yelled at by the drill instructor or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And I came home and I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to quit.
I mean, that's rough if you think about it. You're starting high school and you're starting marching band and you missed the first week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not ideal in so many ways. Yeah.
My parents, thankfully, said like, well, you're going to stick with it for a little bit, see how you like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept going back, and my mellophone section, my French horn section, like really embraced me, and like I really made some like good friends in that year, and I grew to love the marching band.
So by the end of that freshman year, would it be fair to say that like you kind of fell in love with it and you wanted to do it for the next whatever couple years in high school? Or when was that moment where it switched from like, this is the worst to, you know what, like this is pretty great?
I don't remember an exact moment, but during like my sophomore year, we watched some videos of Drum Corps International, which is kind of like the professional marching band scene.
Yep.
We watched some videos in class, and I remember thinking like, wow, this is so cool. I want to do that. And I auditioned for it for a couple of things, and I eventually got into it in 2022, and I marched, 24.
Yeah.
What am I saying? One of the numbers.
Trust me, we don't keep track of dates
23.
here at this podcast.
I don't know.
Yeah. At some point, you did audition.
I did, and I made it, and I had a lot of fun doing that. But I really fell in love with like teaching in my senior year of high school. Funnily enough, my English teacher was the one who inspired me. He just had like such a great passion for music, or for language arts, and like reading, and like really reading between the lines of novels. And that like really inspired me to follow my own passion so that I can continue to inspire students like me. Yeah,
I mean, that's because, I'm not going to say music's a hobby, but for the long time, music, or for, in high school, music for a lot of people is an extracurricular thing.
Yes.
It is kind of a hobby. It's something that they're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
But like for you, like this extracurricular thing, this hobby turned into more of a career.
Yeah.
And that's where that happened around senior year, right?
Yes.
And so tell us about the step after high school, as far as, taking that step, choosing to make music a career. How was that process? And tell us, what college you go to and what your major is there.
Yeah, so I originally applied to California Baptist University as an engineering student because, like I said, I was in the engineering program at Redwood. And I thought, I'm pretty good at this, so why not make it a career, make some like decent money,
Yep.
But then after that senior year, I was like, man, I love like doing music, and I love just creating art like that. And so then I switched my major before I even got to CBU.
You switched it pretty late, if I remember.
I switched it like a month or so before school started.
Yeah. How was that? Like, real quick, like, talk to us about that process, and and what helped you? Like, how did God comfort you during that process? Because that's a big step. Mm-hmm. No offense to the engineer people and music people, but those are two like different things. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, if you don't mind, like, how did your faith kind of play a role in that process of like making that switch from engineering to music? And how did God give you peace about that? Because obviously you have peace about that. You've been pursuing that for 4 years now, 3 years. Talk to us about the role faith played in that switch of engineering to music.
Yeah, I remember signing up for classes when I was an engineering student, and I would only have band 1 day a week. And that was hard for me. I was like, what? I only get to play my instrument 1 day a week. And I was sitting there with my mom, who was helping me register for my classes, and I was like, this is not okay.
Yeah, right.
And she was like, well, you gotta, like, this is what's happening. Like, you just gotta kind of stick with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And pray to God, like, what does he say? And so I prayed about it, and just like remembering, like, I remember going into my teacher's classroom, my English teacher's classroom, I was crying because I was like, what do I do? Do I follow my passion, or do I, teachers don't necessarily make the best money.
Yep.
And so, like, that was a stressor for me. Like, do I choose something that I love doing that probably won't be the best monetarily, or do I choose something that will, like, give me like a good financial setup?
Yeah.
And so I just remember praying and like thinking back on that, and he said, like, sometimes you just gotta like follow your passions. And I think God really was speaking to me in that moment. Like, he gave me talents in music and talents in teaching, and so I should follow that, and so I can help the next generation.
That's awesome. So when you made that decision, were there any moments where you just, like, God kind of tapped, like, I call them like God taps, almost like where God taps your shoulder and you're like, see, like, you made the right move, or see, like it, like those moments of peace? Were there, so you made that decision, were there any moments after that? It might have been a month later, a year later, or whatever. Were there any moments where you're like, yeah, I made the right decision, and God's like, yeah, you did?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I play at a concert and I just get to listen to this fabulous music that I'm like partaking in, and it's always just like, wow, I get to do this for this will be my career in the future. And I just think of those moments, like thinking back, like, thank you for like helping me choose.
Because, like, for me, and everyone's different, right? Because, like, for me, that's where God, I think for me, like, the Holy Spirit, like, just like kind of like overwhelms me, or kind of what you're describing. I'll just sit there and I'll take it in, and I just feel the Holy Spirit just like moving in and out and within the room. And you know, like, every time I'm in Thailand, I just have these moments. I'm like, yeah, like, you're almost speechless. Is that right? It's hard. It's really hard to describe, but it's like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just sit there and you're just like, yep, God's here, and God's moving, and God is affirming and confirming, God's encouraging, God's loving, and you're just like, yeah, that's all you can really say. And so, did you always have a passion for teaching? Because, you know, you have a passion for music, but that music passion could take you in so many places.
Right.
When did, like, the passion of music and the passion of teaching kind of combine? Was it the English teacher, or did that kind of get stronger as you went to Cal Baptist?
I would definitely say it started with my English teacher.
Okay.
But I just wanted to play music when I first went to CBU, and I was thinking, like, oh, I could be like a professional, like, orchestral musician in like LA or somewhere big. And really, over the past year and a half since my junior year, I've like really fallen in love with like teaching. And it's also helped, like, working at a summer camp, like being around students and teaching them about God, and going into classrooms for observation hours for CBU. It's so cool watching students like understand a concept that you're trying to teach them and then apply it to their own music making. I just find that so rewarding.
Yeah, that's where you and I differ, my man. Like, that's where you and I, because because I was so into band. Like I loved band in
Mhm.
high school. I was in concert band and jazz band and played baritone. I originally signed up for tuba.
Mm-hmm.
And in my school district, if you wanted to play tuba, everyone started off as a baritone. A little bit smaller, a little bit easier to handle.
Yeah.
And that was like in 5th grade. And then in 7th grade, if you still wanted to move up to tuba, you did. And so I did for a week. I was like, nah, tuba's a little more.
Yeah.
Baritone's a little more exciting.
Right.
Right. But I loved band growing up. And then I think I kind of had a crossroads like you, Evan, where I was like, yeah, I love band a lot. Do I want to do something with it? And the thing that just absolutely convinced me that it was a no was like music theory. Like, I'm sorry, Evan, but
Yeah.
like learning music theory was always like rough for me.
Sure.
And let alone, I'm like, gosh, if I strongly dislike the music theory as a student,
Mhm.
like to be in a different position and trying to teach it.
Yeah.
That was like my least favorite part of band was anytime we like after a concert, we always do like music theory stuff. And I'm just like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
But it kind of sounds like you get a kick out of it though.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's where you and I are so opposite.
I'd say kind of music has kind of an English and math.
Absolutely.
Where like some people hate the math part but love the English part,
Yeah.
and it's vice versa. And so like music theory versus musicianship, it's like totally different.
Now, for the people listening, can you describe what music theory is? Because I would describe it in a more negative light. So I want you to describe it.
Well, okay, so music theory is understanding of how music is generally done.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, it relates more to like Bach and like the chorale settings.
Yeah.
It's
not always the most exciting music.
Right. It's more about like
do music theory.
It's more about like the harmonies and how they like connect and how you can write music.
Yeah.
And then musicianship is more about like your internal ear, like being able to hear something and then play it back on your instrument, or to improv a solo in like jazz or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I remember doing the music theory stuff. I just like my conductor would give us a piece and then he'd be like, all right, we're changing the notes to this, to that. You know what I mean? Like we started in this, we're starting E flat, but now we're going to an F. And if it sounds like I'm making stuff up, that just tells you how much I did not pay attention or how much I did not like it. Because I'd be like, why are we doing these scales 7 different times in 7 different ways?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. Like, no. But I know like true musicians, I'm gonna call you a true musician, you get a kick out of that stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, see, that's where God's good, because like God gave you that blessing, but not mine. And so French horn, you've been playing French horn now since 8th grade.
Yeah.
Why the French horn?
I originally started on trumpet, and I just I was pretty good at it. I was able to be in like the advanced band at Valley Life from I think like 6th grade.
Okay.
And then in 8th grade, I was kind of wanting to try something else, try something new. And so Woodlake, where my dad works, they had an extra French horn, so I was able to borrow that and play.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah. And I just thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
It's curly. I don't know.
It does look cool.
And then, yeah, I just kind of stuck with it, and I fell in love with it like really my senior year of high school, like listening to music, like French horn music. And yeah, every time I step away from like a week or so, especially during the break, I kind of step away from the French horn, and then when I come back and I listen to music, I'm like, yeah, this is the best instrument.
I think French horn is the most underrated instrument.
It's so beautiful
in a band. Or I did not have an orchestra in high school, so I view more things in a band. But like, if you look at some of the most famous music out there as far as soundtracks,
like movie,
it's the French horn that carries. The trumpets now. Don't get me started on the trumpets. We had some beef, my band, back in high school. That trumpet section knew that they were like the popular ones, and they got all the melodies and the harmonies, and I don't know it. Whatever trumpets. Did you have that beef in all high school?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the trumpet personality. I don't know. It's not.
It could be.
It's funny how like each instrument group kind of has like a personality that's attributed to it, and like
absolutely.
people just naturally gravitate
Yeah.
to where they fit in. So
That's why I love the tubas, because I felt like they were just a wild bunch.
yep.
Like they're the only ones on the marching band that can get away with dancing. Like
Yeah.
you know, with with the sousaphone, they're the only ones that can get away just doing whatever doing whatever they want.
Yes.
Is there a certain musical ego that, confession time, is there a certain, like you said, every instrument has its own personality? Is there a musical or instrument group that kind of gets on Evan's nerves there? Because you said it as if you said it as if there was something there.
I'm not the biggest fan of saxophones.
Oh, now hold on. Now, is it alto, tenor, or baritone, or all of them?
Alto.
Alto.
Yeah. I mean, there are some good people that play alto saxophone. I just find the instrument itself to be a little.
You know who played alto saxophone was Michael J. Seeloff.
Oh,
I'm missing this podcast too.
Sorry, Sloth.
Yeah. Fun fact about him: I have a friend that carries his alto saxophone in his trunk at all times.
I mean,
because you never know when a ska band is ready to.
Exactly.
So, Evan, how much longer do you have at Cal Baptist?
I have 2 semesters left. I have one of like the traditional 4-year, and then I'll do 1 semester in the fall of student teaching.
Okay. And moving kind of, 5 years from now, is there a particular age group you want to teach? Because I mean, band is so different between elementary, middle school, or middle, junior high, high school. Is there a particular age group that you're just kind of more, focused on or drawn to?
Yeah, I'd say, especially like this past semester, I've really wanted to get into teaching middle school band. And I think like you could have like such a variety of students. You have students who have been playing since 5th grade, who are in their like 8th grade year, who are like super like studs, like going out there and like, showing off. And then you'll also have students that are brand new to the instruments, and you get to like teach them from basics. I also think that being a high school director, like you're gonna have a lot of stuff after school, and it's something that I want to do is like perform outside of school on my own and like my own kind of gigs and whatever.
Yeah. The challenge of junior high just in general is the variety of skill level.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some might consider that like the biggest challenge, but for you, it kind of sounds like you like not love the challenge, but that's something that is kind of gives you joy, and something that that challenge kind of gives you motivation. I think that's super cool. That's a blessing right there. Because I'll tell you right now, like junior high, that's the definition of junior high, is the variety of everything, right? Emotions and moods,
right?
And kids are growing. Kids are growing in 6th grade. Some of them don't start growing until 8th grade. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's just that the variety. So is it more? So that junior high group, Evan, is that something you've always kind of been drawn to, or is that just recently where you're like, you know what, that kind of is my thing?
Yeah, that's more recently, over the past like 2 months of school, November and October, I guess, where I was observing a middle school band director. I always wanted to do high school and do like the marching band stuff, and I always thought that would be cool, but I'm kind of shying away from that now.
Okay. In your major, actually, I don't know this question or this answer. Sorry. Are you more focused on like the band or orchestra? Are you kind of prepared for both? Because I know some schools out there have both.
Yeah.
Mine didn't, which is fine. But do you lean towards one or the other, or?
I'm definitely leaning towards band.
Yeah.
But at CBU, like they teach us about all of it. We have instrumental technique classes where we learn how to play the stringed instruments, all the different wind instruments, percussion, and even like choral stuff. So no matter where we get thrown in, like we can just set up shop and like teach students. But I personally am definitely leaning towards band.
Now, in every path of life, Evan, there's always moments of doubt and struggle, and also moments of like exhaustion and burnout. Can you talk about that? Like, you're obviously, what's great about you is, as long as I've known you, especially, since that 8th grade, 9th grade year, is you've always had a passion for band. But that doesn't mean you didn't have moments of doubt, especially those busy times at Cal Baptist and school.
Yeah.
Talk to us about those seasons of doubt, and then maybe talk about also just like how God kind of carried you through those seasons of doubt.
Being a music major, we're always busy. I think I was in 6 different ensembles this past semester. Plus I have like 3 or 4 like educational classes, I guess. So I'm just I have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of rehearsals, even outside of like normal like school or class hours. And this past semester I felt really bogged down by that. Especially I felt like I was very much underwater and just like barely keeping my head above the water.
Right.
But I just like, sometimes you just gotta put your head down and trust in God, and like that He's gonna like see you through. And I definitely had moments where I wanted to give up and just be like, I tell my friends all the time, I'm like, man, I should have just done engineering. Like, as silly as that is, like, it, to me, just looking from the outside, it's math equations and stuff. And I mean, I'm probably offending a lot of engineering people that probably is busy there too, but just the like rigorous schedule that I see in myself is really hard. Especially towards the end of semesters when I have a lot of concerts and whatever.
Right. If you could go back to, senior year Evan in high school, like what would you tell yourself, and both in a musical way, as far as like the music major, what would Evan, senior year Evan, tell freshman year Evan about his major, but also about faith? Those two, what would you say to freshman year Evan?
I would say school doesn't slow down. I've always thought like the next semester would kind of get easier, but it doesn't. It gets harder and you pile more stuff. And I'm not saying I'm not thankful for that stuff. Like, I loved all the things that I do. But like, it won't ever slow down, and you just have to trust in God that like He's giving you just the right amount to challenge you, but not to break you. And you can just keep pushing through and with his help.
What about like faith wise? What would you tell freshman year Evan about his faith?
There's a lot of turns. There's always,
I like that, a lot of turns. Yeah.
You never know where, like, what's going on and what's going to happen, but like, you just, like I was saying, like, you just have to trust that God is there with you, and He's always going to see it through with you.
Does God speak to you through music at all? Since, I mean, you're surrounded by music, right? Like, it's such a big deal of your life. Is that something God speak, like, or is it more creation? Is it more devotional reading? Like, what, like, I'm just curious, because like I said, music is so much part of your life. Is that even how God speaks to you? Like, for me, it's creation, right? But like, what about you? Is music a big way that God speaks to you?
Music is, I would say, more so creation, and like being in places of nature and just like sitting and relaxing is where I really find God. I will say though that I do find God in music as well. Especially in our like Christian choir, our Christian university choir and orchestra. We have a song called One Day, and it talks about like one day when we all get to heaven. And I remember this past year, it was my last concert with 2 good buddies of mine, JC and Marcella. And we were just all crying because like this is the last time that we'd all be singing and playing this piece of music before we get to heaven. Like, this group will never be the same. And I definitely found God in that moment.
That, and I think what I love about your story too, Evan, I think a lot of people not need to hear this, but I just reminded, You were faced with a big crossroads your senior year of high school of not knowing what to do. But I think more than anything is I think what you learned is just trusting God, right? Part of trusting God is just also just taking that step. It's hard to trust when you don't take a step.
Yes.
But you took that step. And so I think I'm sure you've already learned this about life, but people don't. What you experienced your senior year of high school is something you'll probably experience over and over again in your life, right?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't matter if you're a senior in high school now or you're 35. I think we're all encountered of what step do I take next? I go this way or this way. And I think the reality is too, and this is me now being on my little soapbox here, people, but I also think that God's going to have your back no matter what. I think sometimes we convince ourselves that like one step is absolutely right.
Yeah.
And one step is absolutely wrong. I just think we get so black and white sometimes where my mindset is, I think God has you no matter what. Right?
Sure.
I mean, I just think God is just there and there and there. God loves. Like God's love is suddenly not going to go away if you think you're, again, like Evan, God was going to love you the same if you would have chose engineering at Calvary Baptist. You know what I mean? Like God's grace is still there. And so I think that's an encouragement too, is sometimes like we put so much weight upon ourselves and making the right decision when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we attach God's love to that. And that's not fair to God. I mean, I'm here to tell you guys, God loves you no matter what. And I don't know, Evan, if you kind of correlated or attach God's love to decision making sometimes, but I think that's very easy to do.
Well, I was just going to say, this is like a great reminder for me because looking forward into the future, like I graduate next fall. So thinking about all the decisions that I have, I'm like thinking, what's the best? Like, what is going to do the best thing for me? But I think this is a good reminder for me. Like,
and again, there might, like no matter what you choose, Evan, God's going to love you the same. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes we as people, we attach God's love to like decisions. Now, again, there's definitely unhealthy decisions out there.
Yeah.
Like, let's not get that twisted. You know what I mean? But I think like, again, sometimes we really do like we beat ourselves up. Like, do I do this or do that? And God's going to look down on me in shame. Where it's like, you know what, Evan, like if you had done engineering, I bet you'd have been great at that because you're very smart at that too. Again, not a gift that I have either. But like God's love would have been there just the same. And so whatever you do decide next year, hopefully it's the University of Minnesota, go Gophers. But you know what I mean? Like, again, like you have so many great options for you. I think that's a blessing. I think sometimes we view these great options as like not a curse, but like as a hindrance or a burden. And yeah, sure, like carrying that weight in decision making can be a burden. Don't get me wrong. But I think oftentimes, it's that half full, half empty. Like you have a lot of great opportunities. And so while you make that decision, I mean, sometimes approach it with the mindfulness of gratitude and thankfulness and joy. You might be surprised sometimes. We as people might be surprised at times on how that can affect our decision making. I think that's my tangent I want to really say is because I see people, Evan, beat themselves up way too much over making a decision where I just want to remind them God loves you.
Yeah.
And God's still going to love you no matter what you decide, no matter what school you go to or major, like you're good in the sense of like your faith. You know what I mean? So I don't know right now. So it's probably not fair to ask you. So you do have a couple of things on as far as the future after school. You're still deciding on a few things.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Not sure if I want to just go straight into teaching or go into a master's program.
Where would you go for a master's program?
I want to go to the U of M.
That's right. University of Minnesota. I knew that answer, people. Sorry. Yeah. I kind of knew that one. All right, Evan, we're going to start off with a quiz. I'm going to ask you some snap fire questions and you got to answer.
All right.
Perfect pitch or relative pitch? Which one do you have or wish you had?
I wish I had relative pitch.
And what's that?
That's like being able to, like, if you
hear something,
and know it's an A, for example, and you hear something else, you'd be able to like hear the difference, the different interval.
And that's like music theory a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because there have been times where I was out in public with Evan, and I've like you and I heard something, and you're like, "That's a C," and I'm like, "I believe you." Okay, which is harder, sight reading or memorization?
I would say memorization.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Practice room essentials, a metronome or tuner?
I don't think you can get away with either. Like, you need both.
Yeah, you gotta choose one. You don't break the rules on me here.
Oh.
Don't.
I honestly.
This is my podcast.
Well, they're
the
such different tools.
Well, which one would you survive longer? Like, which one do you can get away with for one practice session? A metronome?
Probably a metronome.
Yeah, okay. Composer showdown, Bach or Beethoven?
Again, this is.
I say Bach.
I like Beethoven.
Okay.
But I also like Bach.
Yeah. Well, you got some decisions to make here.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Worst practice habit, starting too fast or never using a metronome?
Probably starting too fast. I always use a metronome.
Yeah. Most intimidating key signature, 5 sharps or 5 flats?
5 sharps.
Really?
B.
Yeah. Ensemble preference, solo performance or large ensemble?
Do I have to choose between those two? Because I like small groups, small chamber ensembles.
Okay.
The best.
Yeah. I think I'm that way too. For choir, at least. Yeah. Warm-ups, absolutely necessary or optional?
Necessary.
Yeah. See, for me, I'm like, just go in and rock out. Performance nerves, is it worse before or during the performance? That's a great question.
I think it's worse before because you're just building up the anticipation. And then once you're doing it, you're like, okay.
You know, it's interesting because, I mean, this is not, I'm up in front of people every Sunday, on the altar. I'm fine before, but sometimes I'm up there and it like hits me during the performance.
Sure.
So I don't know, like before, I almost don't think about it. Maybe I should, but like it's during the performance that I think I get more nerves. So what is one piece of music every student should hear at least once?
When I was looking ahead, I did not see this one, so I might need to think a second.
You got to think a second.
Yeah.
What about Flight of the Bumblebee? Everyone needs to hear that.
Wow.
That's a musical.
Yeah.
If we had the copyright, I'd be playing that right now. Post edit. Flight of the Bumblebee.
I don't think you need copyright. I think it's over 100 years old. So.
Okay. Well, I'll figure that out.
I would say maybe Dvorak 9, Symphony Number 9. That's my favorite symphony.
Who composed that?
Antonin Dvorak.
Oh.
He's I forget where he's from.
I knew that.
Which is bad because I just learned this past semester.
Wait, so Dvorak number 9?
Yeah, the New World Symphony. He composed it thinking about America in like the 70s or 80s of the 1800s.
How long is this piece?
Altogether 40 minutes.
Oh,
40,
man.
50 minutes. It's my favorite piece of music though.
40 minutes?
It's so beautiful. I mean, what I do.
Is it in any movies at all?
Well,
or parts of it?
John Williams,
okay.
The Jaws theme is taken from the 4th movement. Da-da.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. The 4th movement?
Yeah.
Out of like what, 95 movements?
Out of 4.
Oh, okay.
If you're gonna listen
each
to
movement's 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, sure. If you're gonna listen to that, I would listen to the 2nd movement and the 4th movement.
You know what? Next time I'm driving to Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Dvorak number 9.
Yeah.
And that's an orchestra band. What is that?
Yeah, it's orchestra.
Have you ever played any of Dvorak stuff?
Yeah, well, I've played that twice. I played it my freshman year of college. We played it for orchestra, and then I played it this past semester. And for my last marching band show, we took snippets of that. So
you're saying I might have heard some of this dude's stuff before?
You might have.
Yeah. I said Dvorak more in the last 2 minutes than the first 39 years of my life. So
well, there you go.
That is all credit to you. So, well, thank you, Evan. You go back to school on a couple of days here to finish up the rest of the year and You're rocking out. Do you have any major concerts? Shout out. Do you want to do some plugins? Some
Well,
plugs? What do you want to plug? Do you have a concert this spring or?
I will have a senior recital where it's me and a pianist.
When is that? I gotta know when.
I don't have any dates yet. I signed up.
Would that be this spring or next fall?
It would be this spring.
I gotta go to that.
Sometime in April.
I've yet to go down and see you.
Well, you should.
I got a spring senior. How long is that usually?
30 minutes.
You have to play for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
You should play Dvorak's number 9.
No, well, that's more for orchestral. So.
No, you got to change things up around
here. I'll
send you some ideas of what you should play for your spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some ideas.
I think I've got it all figured out, but yeah.
No, I think give me 4 minutes.
Okay.
Is it like you play one piece the entire time?
It could be, but I'm doing I think I have 4.
You have 4?
Yeah.
Can we do 5? Can you save that 5th one for me?
Maybe 4. I might be able to fit in a 4-minute piece.
I got some ideas. We'll figure some stuff.
Yeah.
out. We'll figure some stuff out. I got some really fresh ideas. We got some. Yeah, we're gonna be. I mean, imagine your spring recital and you just bust into the Imperial March. That would be awesome.
Would it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
trust
keep
you.
the people on their toes. People light up their lightsabers in the middle of your senior. Oh, picture it now. Be awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. We hope this conversation gave you something new to think about, whether it's an idea, a story, or just a fresh perspective on everyday life. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future episodes, or share this podcast with friends and family who might enjoy it too. We love hearing from our listeners, so connect with us online and let us know what topics you'd like us to explore. Thank you so much for Evan for coming on today. Until next time, keep asking questions, stay curious, and enjoy the little moments that make life meaningful. Hope you all have a wonderful day and weekend.
Can I add one more thing? Also listen to Shared Reflections.
Shared Reflections.
Yes. A French horn quartet.
Drop. Yep. Mic drop, Shared Reflections.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.